Edward Snowden, born as Edward Joseph Snowden, is an American intelligence contractor and renowned whistleblower. In the year 2013, he brought to light a series of covert and extensive information-gathering initiatives carried out by the National Security Agency. This revelation exposed the existence of secretive programs that spanned multiple domains, unraveling the true scope and scale of secrecy within these organizations. The mentioned case has brought a multitude of significant matters to the forefront, encompassing subjects such as the covert utilization of governmental authority, the concept of privacy in the era of advanced technology, and the ethical considerations surrounding the act of whistleblowing. Edward Snowden, a former CIA employee and contractor for the National Security Agency, possessed a level of clearance that granted him access to the United States' most highly classified information. Snowden, fueled by curiosity and armed with knowledge akin to the CIA's advanced search engine, embarked on a quest to uncover solutions to society's most urgent and thought-provoking inquiries. Delving into the depths of information, he sought comprehensive answers, exploring the intricacies and complexities surrounding these pressing questions. He searched the CIA's computers for proof of alien life, and this is what he said. As it turns out, the US government is not aware of any intelligent extraterrestrial life. For the record, as far as I could tell, aliens have never contacted Earth, or at least they haven't contacted US intelligence. But the idea that we're hiding them, if we are hiding them, I had ridiculous access to the networks of the NSA, the CIA, the military, all these groups, and I couldn't find anything. So if it's hidden, and it could be hidden, it's hidden really well, even from people who are on the inside." End quote. However, many who investigate the unknown have said that it's likely that this type of information wouldn't be hidden within computers that can be easily accessed, and further noted that after Gary McKinnon hacked a NASA computer back in 2002 and found alleged evidence of unidentified objects, it's highly likely that these organizations moved this type of information into a highly secured area, one that is near impossible to access. However, Edward Snowden didn't say that aliens are not real, and even suggested that we might not be advanced enough to know that they are out there. Snowden said the following: "So if you have an alien civilization trying to listen for other civilizations, or our civilization trying to listen for aliens, there's only one small period in the development of their society where all of their communications will be sent via the most primitive and most unprotected means." End quote. Edward Snowden was speaking on the topic of encryption in a broad sense, and according to NASA researchers, data encryption is not the main focus in the pursuit of alien signals. Historically, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence has primarily focused on utilizing radio waves for communication, as it is considered a cost-effective and reliable means of transmitting signals over vast distances in outer space. While radio waves have been the preferred method due to their accessibility, it is important to note that data encryption has not been the primary concern in these efforts. The Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence Institute utilizes advanced radio telescopes situated on Earth to conduct a thorough exploration for narrowband signals, that is, signals with a concentrated frequency on the radio spectrum. While numerous celestial bodies produce radio interference, researchers assert that the only known source of narrowband signals is a transmitter. This comprehensive approach by the Institute involves an in-depth search for these targeted signals, which enables scientists to discern any potential transmissions and enrich our understanding of extraterrestrial communication possibilities. As mentioned, although Snowden admitted that he didn't find any information about unidentified objects and advanced life, he isn't against the idea of it existing. One of the most common speculations is that information related to unidentified objects is stored in classified military installations. Such facilities are known for their stringent security measures and limited access, making them ideal for safeguarding sensitive information. One military base often mentioned in UFO lore is Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio. Government agencies responsible for national security and intelligence may also hold information on unidentified objects, as these agencies are equipped to collect and analyze data related to potential threats or unidentified aerial phenomena. The Central Intelligence Agency has declassified documents related to UFO sightings in the past, suggesting an interest in the phenomenon. However, it is believed that the agency may still hold classified records that have not been made public. As many have pointed out, hundreds of thousands of documents have been released to the public, but these are the ones that the agency wants you to read about. Investigators into the unknown have suggested that there's likely thousands of documents that will never be released. The National Reconnaissance Office is responsible for the design, construction, and operation of reconnaissance satellites. It is possible that their surveillance capabilities have collected data on unidentified objects over the years, although such information would likely be highly classified. Government-funded scientific and research institutions may also play a role in UFO investigations. These organizations possess the expertise and resources to analyze data and assess the potential implications of encounters. The Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, also known as DARPA, conducts research and development for the U.S. Department of Defense. While its primary focus is on defense technology, it may have conducted studies related to unidentified objects, especially if there are concerns about national security. In recent years, there has been increased congressional interest in unidentified objects, leading to the establishment of committees and task forces to investigate the matter further. The Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, established by the U.S. Department of Defense, is responsible for assessing reports of unidentified aerial objects encountered by U.S. military personnel. While its findings are not publicly available, congressional committees are briefed on its activities. The Senate Select Committee on Intelligence has requested information from various government agencies regarding unidentified object sightings and encounters. Its involvement underscores the growing recognition of the need for transparency on the issue. Government agencies often collaborate with private contractors and third-party organizations on classified projects. It is possible that some information related to unidentified objects is entrusted to these entities. Private aerospace companies often work closely with government agencies on classified projects. They may be involved in the development and testing of advanced technology or systems related to investigations. Some independent research organizations and think tanks conduct studies on UFO phenomena. While their access to classified information may be limited, they may contribute to the broader conversation on the subject. Speculation about underground facilities dedicated to unidentified object research or the storage of recovered objects has persisted for years. The question of where the government might keep information on UFOs is shrouded in secrecy and speculation. While there is no concrete evidence to confirm the existence of such information or its storage locations, the possibilities range from classified military bases and government agencies to private contractors and research institutions. Over the years, there's been a number of strange connections that have been made during UFO encounters. The connection between black helicopters and UFO sightings has been a recurring theme, and reports of mysterious black helicopters appearing in the vicinity of UFO sightings have fueled speculation about government involvement. The association between black helicopters and unidentified object sightings can be traced back to the 1970s and 1980s, when reports of unusual, unmarked helicopters began to circulate among UFO enthusiasts. These helicopters were typically described as black, unmarked, and displaying no identifiable insignia or registration numbers. In the realm of UFO discussions, talk regarding black helicopters is widespread. These enigmatic aircraft have become associated with a multitude of secretive activities, including UFO sightings, encounters with mysterious entities, and even the unsettling phenomenon of cattle explorations. Interestingly enough, it was during the surge of cattle explorations incidents in the late 1970s that reports of black helicopters started to emerge more frequently. Numerous ranch owners and farmers attested to witnessing these aerial vehicles in the vicinity shortly before or after the disturbing discovery of an animal. As we delve deeper into the subject, it becomes evident that the mention of black helicopters within circles ignites a curiosity about the shadowy purposes that these aircraft serve. The phenomenon is not limited to isolated incidents. Rather, it encompasses a vast array of clandestine operations that captivate the human imagination. It is important to note that the implications of black helicopters stretch beyond their mere appearance, as they are ultimately linked to a web of covert endeavors and unexplained occurrences. This association between black helicopters and unidentified objects is not something new. In certain circles, there exists a pervasive air of suspicion surrounding these ominous helicopters, particularly in the United States. Within various reports made by everyday people, there remains a persistent and underlying worry among many individuals regarding the potential purpose of these mysterious helicopters. Furthermore, sightings of these black helicopters have been intricately tied to covert mind control projects undertaken by intelligence agencies, allegedly utilizing low-frequency waves to influence vast sections of the population. It is important to note that no single organization can exclusively claim ownership of these heavy-duty black helicopters. Nevertheless, the frequency of these sightings continues to rise. While the exact nature and purpose of these enigmatic aircraft may be subject to ongoing debates, their existence as mysterious entities in our skies can hardly be denied or dismissed. In this comprehensive exploration, we delve into a recent case that occurred in Chicago in September 2018, which seemingly involves the presence of one of the enigmatic black helicopters. Oddly enough, people all over the world have reported seeing these strange black helicopters and state that they normally appear moments after an unidentified object has been sighted. The truth of the matter remains uncertain and veiled in secrecy when it comes to the true proprietors of these enigmatic black helicopters and their underlying objectives. It is abundantly clear that their external appearance deliberately lacks any distinctive markings or symbols, serving as an intentional facade. During daylight hours, they undeniably attract attention due to their conspicuous presence, but their sleek and foreboding black exteriors render them highly inconspicuous during nocturnal operations. If these formidable machines were to operate soundlessly, it would further facilitate the execution of covert missions with utmost ease and efficiency. Surprisingly, numerous reports have actually made mention of the peculiar fact that helicopters can be completely silent. At first, this may seem illogical, as helicopters are typically recognized by the loud and chaotic rotation of their blades that keep them airborne, commonly referred to as blade vortex interaction. However, upon further investigation, we discover that these claims are not as absurd as one might assume. One thing that eyewitnesses point out is why these black helicopters seem to fly in silence, which has led some to say that they operate differently to normal helicopters. Consequently, while this may not affect the helicopter's visibility on radar to an adversary, it could potentially render any targets in the immediate vicinity of this stealthy and noiseless aircraft at higher risk of being detected and engaged with ease. Could these recent developments and the presence of these mysterious and enigmatic vehicles potentially hint at the existence of a highly advanced and covert military apparatus? One that operates in the shadows under the authority of top-ranking government officials, military personnel, and intelligence agencies. It is worth noting that reports of stealthy black helicopters often coincide with numerous incidents of cattle explorations. While some attribute these cases to extraterrestrial experimentation, others propose a more direct government involvement, with the sighting of such helicopters near the locations of livestock serving as partial evidence of potentially nefarious activities taking place. As such, these peculiar occurrences raise intriguing questions about the true nature of these vehicles and the forces behind them, warranting a more comprehensive investigation into their origins and intended purposes. However, some investigators have said that why would government officials risk getting caught? The government owns countless acres of land, and they could easily raise cattle if they wanted to. Sneaking into a pasture with a helicopter to carry out this act doesn't make any sense. It is worth noting that the sightings of mysterious black aircraft are not limited to the United States alone. The United Kingdom has also witnessed several instances of unmarked black helicopters suddenly appearing, often intertwined with unidentified object reports. Interestingly, many of these reports include accounts of unidentified aircraft supposedly crashing or going down. Those individuals who have had up-close encounters with these intriguing scenarios have consistently reported the presence of military personnel associated with these aircraft. Furthermore, it is noteworthy that these personnel are frequently a combination of British and American soldiers, raising further questions about the nature and purpose of these enigmatic black aircraft. The presence of such hybrid military units adds an intriguing layer to the already intricate phenomenon. Tony Dodd, a retired police officer residing in Yorkshire, has dedicated his life to unraveling the mysteries surrounding unidentified flying objects. Ever since his initial encounter with an unidentified object, he has embarked on a worldwide quest, eagerly seeking an explanation for this perplexing and enigmatic phenomenon. In his relentless pursuit, Tony has had the privilege of engaging with both individuals who claim to have been taken and government officials who wholeheartedly believe that the existence of advanced civilizations can no longer be concealed. Drawing from his extensive experiences, Tony has channeled his passion into writing his inaugural book, marking a significant milestone in his journey. Dodd asserted that these enigmatic helicopters were specifically dispatched to transport confidential response teams tasked with the retrieval of crashed unidentified objects and potential evidence of cattle explorations. Astonishingly, according to Dodd, these covert units were even involved in the concealment of evidence pertaining to instances of human cattle exploration. What adds to the peculiarity of the situation is that these highly trained teams seemed to possess advanced knowledge of impending UFO crashes, including their precise location. As a result, they were often able to swiftly arrive at the designated site within minutes, if not sooner. If the assertions put forth in these claims are indeed accurate, it gives rise to an urgent inquiry. How many unidentified flying objects have made an abrupt descent onto our planet, whether inadvertently or deliberately, with any traces of such encounters swiftly eradicated by a covert unit that arrived on the scene before anyone could even fathom what was unfolding? While the aforementioned scenario is undeniably disconcerting yet within the realm of plausibility, there exist theories proposing explanations for these enigmatic aerial crafts that push the boundaries of even the most receptive and open-minded individuals. In due course, we will delve deeper into these theories. However, at present, our focus should turn towards the United Kingdom as we embark on an extensive exploration of this perplexing phenomenon. Based on the research conducted by Nick Redfern, a prominent UFO researcher, it was discovered that in early 1974, a newspaper report had surfaced as a result of leaked information from an undisclosed source within the British government at that time. This report revealed that the Special Branch, which is a department within the British police force responsible for handling sensitive matters, was discreetly engaged in an investigation pertaining to multiple sightings of unidentified helicopters throughout the entire United Kingdom. This intriguing revelation sheds light on the covert activities undertaken by the Special Branch during that particular period. Initially, there were suspicions that the peculiar reports regarding the helicopters might be linked to acts of illegal immigration. However, after the Special Branch and various individual police forces publicly addressed the issue subsequent to the unauthorized disclosure, they stated that there was no evidence whatsoever to suggest any connection to this. Furthermore, they admitted to having no substantial leads regarding the purpose of the helicopters or the identities of those responsible for them. This comprehensive expansion delves deeper into the context surrounding the initial suspicions and subsequent official statements made by the Special Branch and the individual police forces. The Cheshire Police Force has expressed significant apprehension regarding the frequent sightings of several black helicopters in the region. Their concern is particularly heightened due to the helicopters crossing one of the primary flight paths leading to Manchester Airport. The police force emphasised that flying at night requires a special licence, which the pilot or pilots operating these helicopters appear to lack. Consequently, their actions are deemed to be in violation of civil aviation law. This situation has raised serious concerns within the authorities, as the potential breach of regulations pertaining to air travel poses significant risks and potential threats to public safety. One mysterious story involving a black helicopter was reported by Constable John Mitchell. It was a chilly night in Cheshire, and Constable John Mitchell was on his usual rounds in the quiet village of Alderley Edge. As a British police officer with over a decade of experience, he had seen his share of strange occurrences, but nothing could have prepared him for what was about to unfold. It was around 2 a.m. when John received a call from a frantic resident reporting a UFO sighting near the local woods. Skeptical but duty-bound, John made his way to the area, expecting to find nothing more than a weather balloon or a misidentified aircraft. Arriving at the scene, John was greeted by a small group of bewildered onlookers. They described a bright, pulsating light in the sky that seemed to move erratically, defying the laws of physics. John squinted at the night sky, half expecting to dismiss the sighting as a trick of the eye. However, the object returned, and Constable John Mitchell witnessed an unidentifiable object that danced among the stars. It glowed with an otherworldly luminescence and darted in directions no earthly aircraft could manage. Even John, a staunch skeptic, couldn't deny that what he was witnessing was inexplicable. As John and the onlookers continued to watch in awe, the mysterious craft abruptly shot upward and vanished into the night sky. The constable radioed the sighting to the station, knowing that no one would believe him without some form of corroboration. Little did he know that more surprises awaited him that night. Just as he was about to leave the scene, John and the bystanders were startled by the distant, unmistakable thumping of helicopter blades. As they peered into the night, their eyes widened in shock as a large, unmarked black helicopter descended from the clouds. The black helicopter was unlike anything John had ever seen. It was sleek, devoid of any identifying markings, and emitted a low, ominous hum. The villagers gasped in disbelief as it hovered silently, casting an eerie shadow over the area. Fear gripped John as he realized that this wasn't a standard police or military helicopter. Something about its presence felt foreboding, as though it was not there on official business but rather to observe or surveil. However, the helicopter soon left the scene. The constable was left to face the bewildered villagers, who peppered him with questions he couldn't answer. They wanted to know if the black helicopter was connected to the UFO sighting, if it was government or military, or if it was something altogether more sinister. In the days that followed, John Mitchell was visited by government officials who insisted that the incident remain classified. They assured him that the black helicopter was part of a legitimate operation related to national security, but the constable couldn't shake the feeling that there was much more to the story. The sighting and the enigmatic black helicopter haunted John's thoughts for years to come. He was left with a sense of unease, wondering what secrets the skies of Cheshire held and what forces were at play beyond his understanding. The night that Constable John Mitchell encountered a mysterious black helicopter following a UFO sighting in Cheshire would remain etched in his memory forever. It was an encounter that defied explanation, leaving him with unanswered questions and a lingering sense of intrigue and trepidation. It is worth noting that there is an intriguing yet unverified claim that helicopters were frequently observed hovering over or in the vicinity of residences belonging to individuals who have reported experiences of being taken by advanced beings. This uncanny correlation has sparked a multitude of speculations among researchers and enthusiasts alike. Regardless of the true explanation behind the peculiar sightings of black helicopters in the United Kingdom during the mid-1970s, the details surrounding these occurrences remained concealed for several decades. However, with the advent of the 21st century, the files pertaining to these incidents gradually became accessible to the public through the implementation of the UK Freedom of Information Act. Consequently, we shall now shift our focus towards the contents of one such file, delving into its comprehensive details with an aim to enrich our understanding of the subject matter. The document stated that the unusual helicopters were repeatedly sighted over a span of 2 weeks. Moreover, based on the accounts of witnesses, it was observed that these helicopters were engaged in the activity of practicing landing maneuvers in close proximity to quarries and explosive storage facilities located in the Derbyshire countryside. This information provides significant insights into the nature of their operations and raises questions regarding their purpose and intentions. It is indeed fascinating to note that the rural areas of Derbyshire can be considered as a hotbed for unidentified flying object encounters, with a noteworthy frequency of such activities. The provided file lacks any explanation regarding the mysterious black helicopters and their purpose. Nevertheless, the file was compiled by an officer who had a conversation with a highly experienced Royal Air Force helicopter pilot specializing in night flying. According to the pilot's perspective, conducting night flights in the Derbyshire region would pose significant dangers due to the challenging terrain and the abundance of overhead pylons in the area. These factors contribute to the potentially hazardous nature of the operations. It is evident that the file fails to shed light on the helicopter's specific activities and leaves many questions unanswered. However, the insights provided by the RAF pilot emphasize the potential risks associated with these night flights, highlighting the need for further investigation and clarification. According to Redfern, a well-informed source, it is revealed that multiple intelligence and military agencies convened in secret meetings with the objective of devising a strategic plan to counter the potential threat posed by these enigmatic nocturnal flights. After careful deliberation, it was apparently concluded that deploying fighter jets on standby would be the most effective approach, allowing them to actively pursue and intercept these unidentified aircraft with the intention of compelling them to land. Interestingly, shortly after this decision was reached, sightings of these peculiar black helicopters abruptly ceased, leaving behind an air of mystery and speculation. This series of events raises intriguing questions about the nature and purpose of these elusive night flights and the impact that the chosen course of action may have had on their frequency and appearance. Taking into consideration the final aspect mentioned, it is crucial to question why the sightings abruptly ceased shortly after the UK government and military actively pursued these unidentified aerial phenomena. Could it be that those responsible for these sightings were affiliated with a covert branch of the UK government or military? Perhaps individuals who had access to confidential discussions and strategies that led them to independently terminate these flights. If this is indeed the case, it raises the inquiry regarding the initial purpose of these unsettling aircraft and whether there exists a correlation with the numerous reports of black helicopters sighted across the United States. To comprehensively explore these perplexing circumstances, it becomes imperative to delve deeper into the intricacies behind the decision-making process, potential hidden agendas, and the potential interconnections between these mysterious phenomena observed in both the UK and the United States. In regards to the black helicopter sightings in January 1974, it is worth mentioning the alleged UFO crash in the Berwyn Mountains, which coincided with these events. It is interesting to note that numerous witnesses reported seeing phantom helicopters in the area both prior to and following the supposed crash. This suggests a correlation between the two occurrences, raising further questions and adding complexity to the overall narrative. To delve deeper into this intriguing connection, it is crucial to consider the details surrounding the alleged crash, the eyewitness testimonies, and the subsequent investigations conducted. When examining the various black helicopter theories, one cannot dismiss the possibility that certain instances may be linked to clandestine government or military entities. Author James King recounts a series of bizarre occurrences involving enigmatic aircrafts that hovered ominously in the sky. One perplexing incident, which took place on the 7th of May 1994 in Harahan, Louisiana, involved a teenager who found himself relentlessly pursued by a mysterious black helicopter for a staggering duration of 45 minutes. What heightened the alarm of this already unsettling encounter was the astonishing revelation that, at one point, individuals aboard the airborne vehicle actually disembarked while it hovered and proceeded to direct their heavily armed weapons towards the bewildered teenager. The gravity of this astounding incident cannot be overstated, as it not only raises considerable concerns about the intent behind such clandestine aerial activities, but also underscores the potential dangers associated with these unidentified flying objects. In the same book, King recounts a striking incident that took place in the nation's capital approximately a week after the pursuit in Louisiana, which is disturbingly similar and equally chilling. According to the narrative, a group of individuals traveling in a car suddenly became aware that they were being followed by a black helicopter as if it were in pursuit of them. This unsettling chase persisted for a considerable distance until the driver of the car eventually decided to pull over and attempt to escape. However, mirroring the events in Louisiana, the situation took a terrifying turn when individuals dressed in black uniforms emerged from the helicopter, brandishing their weapons and aiming them directly at the driver. It was only the sudden influx of heavy traffic approaching from the opposite direction that compelled these menacing figures to retreat back into the helicopter and hastily depart. This incident, as described by the witness, adds to the mounting evidence of strange and potentially sinister occurrences that raise eyebrows and invite further investigation. In the subsequent year, Another extraordinary and unsettling occurrence took place, this time unfolding in the state of Nevada. Within that region, a couple who were the proprietors of vast farmland made a claim that an unmarked black helicopter was observed spraying an unknown substance across their property. Tragically, they firmly believed that this event resulted in the untimely demise of several of their animals. Seeking resolution, the couple reported the incident to the authorities, only to receive the disheartening response that no information or knowledge pertaining to this incident was available. As a result, they were left with unanswered questions and a sense of helplessness. The incidents chronicled by King introduce an additional and even more disconcerting facet to the enigma surrounding the mysterious black helicopters. It is unsettling to consider that the individuals aboard these helicopters are willing to resort to force, and potentially lethal force, in pursuit of their objectives, which remain largely unknown to us. These accounts align with a similar occurrence involving black helicopters that unfolded in Chicago in 2018, an incident that we will delve into shortly, exploring its intricacies and implications. If we consider the possibility of a covert government connection to the numerous sightings and reports of black helicopters, it raises the question of why these clandestine missions are being carried out. It is important to maintain a balanced perspective and acknowledge that various military and law enforcement agencies employ black or dark-colored helicopters for lawful purposes. However, it is also worth considering that such legitimate reasons could potentially serve as veils to conceal and obscure darker, undisclosed projects from public scrutiny. By delving deeper into this matter, we aim to enrich our understanding and explore the complexities surrounding these enigmatic helicopters and their alleged government involvement. In his documentation, King delves into a peculiar 3-week period that occurred in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, during March of 1999. Based on his extensive research, numerous reports emerged regarding the presence of enigmatic black helicopters hovering over the cityscape, with some instances of these sightings occurring in quick succession from various locations. Notably, witnesses recounted a specific occurrence where a black helicopter remained stationary above a particular street for several minutes before abruptly departing. Astonishingly, these sightings persisted over the span of almost a month, further fueling speculation and intrigue among residents and local authorities alike. The utilization of black helicopters by secretive government entities is a concept that doesn't strike most individuals as peculiar or even improbable. However, when the notion of these helicopters undergoing transformer-like metamorphoses while in flight is introduced, many people tend to distance themselves from such claims. According to Ray Bosch, former Mutual UFO Network state director from Nebraska, the existence of transforming machines is not even the most astounding aspect of the black helicopter stories. There is a wealth of additional information and intricacies surrounding these clandestine operations that delve into the realms of the mysterious and unknown. According to the account recounted by Boescher to Redfern, in 1993, he was approached by 2 physicists who were working for the US Department of Defense. Their involvement lay in a program aimed at establishing communication with entities known as non-human entities. This project had been in progress for a considerable period of time, but unfortunately, several individuals associated with it experienced an unnerving series of unfortunate incidents and health issues. Interestingly, some even met their demise under mysterious and suspicious circumstances. The events surrounding this project become increasingly peculiar and foreboding. Within the project, rumors started circulating, suggesting that these non-human entities were not just extraterrestrial beings, but rather demonic entities originating from a literal hell. The atmosphere surrounding the project became rife with speculation and a sense of unease, intensifying the air of mystery and prompting further investigation. It is worth mentioning that an intriguing correlation exists between the emergence of black helicopter reports in 1973 and a global wave of unidentified flying object incidents. Furthermore, it is essential to consider the fascinating associations that may be discovered within the phenomenon of cattle explorations. Although this disturbing occurrence had been taking place since the mid-1960s, it experienced a significant increase in the mid to late 1970s, coinciding with the widespread sightings of black helicopters. This convergence of events raises intriguing questions and invites a deeper exploration into the possible connections between these phenomena. By delving into the historical context and examining the details of these occurrences, a comprehensive understanding can be attained, enriching our knowledge of this perplexing subject. It is worth mentioning the notable discoveries made by Derek Gough in the mid-1990s, where he claimed to have received leaked documents indicating a clandestine collaborative military operation between the United Kingdom and the United States. The objective of this operation was to conceal various activities related to unidentified flying objects. Fascinatingly, a crucial aspect of these operations involved the establishment of secure zones in response to imminent UFO sightings, enabling the occupants of these supposed advanced crafts to carry out their missions undisturbed. Particularly intriguing is the fact that a specialized unit, comprising helicopters and skilled pilots, remained on constant standby, prepared to take off at a moment's notice. This reveals a meticulous level of readiness and preparedness in dealing with potential UFO encounters. If we consider the possibility that these revelations are true, they indicate that the team not only possesses knowledge about future UFO occurrences, but also plays a role in supporting them, albeit indirectly. This implies that the team is not merely aware of these activities, but actively contributes to them in some way. The implications are significant, suggesting a deeper involvement and understanding of the UFO phenomenon than initially perceived. The prospect of government officials declassifying information related to unidentified flying objects and making it accessible to the general public has long been a topic of fascination and speculation. While unidentified flying object sightings and encounters have sparked curiosity and intrigue for decades, governments worldwide have often maintained a shroud of secrecy around these phenomena. Before discussing the theoretical process of declassification, it is essential to understand why governments might choose to disclose UFO-related information. Several compelling reasons could motivate such disclosure, including national security concerns. If sightings or encounters pose no credible threats to national security, there may be less reason to keep information classified. Declassifying data on non-threatening UFO incidents can alleviate public concerns and reduce speculation. The study of unidentified flying objects and their potential origins could lead to significant scientific and technological breakthroughs, and by sharing information with researchers and the public, governments can foster collaboration and accelerate scientific progress. Unidentified flying objects have consistently captured public interest, and many individuals believe in their existence. Transparency and disclosure can address public curiosity, alleviate fears, and enhance government credibility. To theoretically declassify UFO-related information, government officials would need to establish a clear and structured process. This process could include the following key elements, including identification of relevant information. Government agencies would need to identify and compile all pertinent information related to UFO sightings and encounters. This would involve reviewing classified documents, data collected by military and civilian organizations, and historical records. A team of experts, including scientists, military personnel, and legal advisors, would assess the classification status of each piece of information, and this review would determine whether continued classification is justified based on national security considerations. Officials would conduct a comprehensive risk assessment to evaluate the potential consequences of declassifying specific information, and this assessment would consider diplomatic, military, and societal implications. Instead of a blanket declassification, officials would opt for a selective approach. Information that poses minimal risks to national security would be prioritized for declassification. Once information is deemed suitable for declassification, it would be released to the public through government websites, official statements, and press releases. This process would be coordinated to minimize confusion and misinformation. The government would encourage collaboration between scientists, researchers, and institutions to study UFO-related data. By facilitating scientific inquiry, governments can tap into diverse expertise and insights. Information released to the public would be accompanied by educational materials explaining the significance and limitations of the data. Public education campaigns would help citizens understand the complexities of unidentified object research. Governments would recognize the global nature of UFO phenomena and collaborate with international counterparts. Countries would engage in information sharing and cooperation, to study sightings and encounters that transcend national borders, and collaborative efforts would enhance the collective understanding of these phenomena. Governments would use diplomatic channels to address UFO-related incidents involving military or civilian assets. International protocols would be established to ensure responsible and transparent interactions. Even after declassification, governments would continue to monitor and research UFO-related phenomena. Government agencies and scientific institutions would maintain ongoing data collection efforts to monitor sightings and encounters. Robust reporting mechanisms would be established to encourage individuals and organizations to report incidents without fear of stigma or reprisal. Governments would solicit public feedback and input to ensure transparency and accountability in the ongoing monitoring of UFO phenomena. Declassifying UFO-related information carries the risk of raising unrealistic expectations. Officials would emphasize that UFO disclosures do not necessarily confirm the existence of advanced life, but rather highlight the need for scientific inquiry. Government agencies would actively work to manage public expectations, dispel misconceptions, and discourage sensationalism. Theoretical declassification of UFO-related information represents a complex and multifaceted process that would involve careful consideration of national security, scientific advancement, and public interest. Establishing a structured process, ensuring transparency, and engaging with the international community are essential components of any such endeavor. Moreover, ethical considerations, privacy protection, and responsible communication would be integral to a successful disclosure initiative. So, what do you make of these mysterious announcements and discoveries? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.